Welcome to the Sports Resort,
the People's Sports Show. Real talk unfiltered. With your host, Derrick Jonkins.
What up? This D Junk with the Sports Resort Podcast. Today I got my guy Matt Malatesta, Mr. VYPE, Mr. Houston, Mr. Sports. I swear this guy's 70 years old, but he look like he's 40 still. Welcome to the highs, my dog. What's the deal, man? You like and you got fresh gear on.
I've got the new gear, but I need me a jersey.
I know. Elvin Bethea jersey. Old school orders.
I look good in jerseys. I don't think I would look good in jerseys. You got to be like rocked up, but hey, I'm old. That was my team. The Houston Oilers back then. I can name every one of those players. That was my team.
That was my squad.
Oh, my God.
And actually, I went to school with his daughter, so this is actually real kind of special to me. His freaking daughter is like 6'2". Heck,
yeah.
Oh, just genetics. But they was a beast. Forgot what college you went to. My brain fried. Don't worry about that. Man, what's been up, bro? Like, we kind of back and forth. I haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to, bro?
Well, with the VYPE world, we're seeing so much. Schools are competing for kids now. And this is only going to get worse, not worse, but different with this new voucher system when it gets passed in the Texas legislature. But what's happening is the marketing, it's a marketing play right now for kids. So what they're doing for us is we turned into a media company, and now we're really almost a marketing company. So now think of me of being really old. I'm the oldest content creator in the country, it feels like.
But you know how to adapt, though. I tell people,
right.
You know how to pivot and adapt. A lot of people don't know how to do that.
So now it started with Aldine ISD, which was in a vacuum.
That's my boy Dre over there.
Dre Thompson, one of the best, and had great vision. We're in a vacuum.
Madison Marlins, baby.
Right. And he just needed something to get the kids kind of juiced up, so we did hype videos and graphics and their own magazine. So now we flipped and become a marketing company for ISDs in private schools, not just in Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, all over the country.
Hey, I think that's cool because I think that's what now kids and parents looking for that, right? If I send my kid here, are they going to get notarized? I hate to say it. We living in 2024, 25, times to change, old school ways out of there. People want to see their kids get to college, be successful, pros. We talking big aspiration here. Not just drop them off and come back and pick up little Johnny, little Keisha. No. We want to see them get far. And when you add those tools like magazines and things like that, notoriety, videos, interviews, VYPE Magazine comes in, who's been around the city. Well, actually, I was telling Chris, I think, if y'all help a lot of kids get scholarships in one way or the other, if people don't really realize that. Because coaches do read those magazines or follow on follow on Instagram, Twitter. You got all these TikTok now. You got all these coaches do watch that. Who's the top 50 kids in the city? Who's a sleeper? Who's a kid at this school I never heard of? Blah, blah, blah. I was just talking about Cameron Ward to someone from Columbia, Texas, right? They're like, where's Columbia, Texas? I'm like, south side of Houston, about 30 miles out, 30 minutes out, 30 miles. But if you blink your eye, you'll ride right back through it. I think they 2A, wasn't it?
They are, but the pathway now is so different. And I'm sure you've talked about this, is that, a kid from Columbus probably told how he can't play quarterback. He's a receiver, something like that. Correct. He goes JUCO, Pac-12, Miami, NFL. This guy's, but here's the thing. He's just built different. You have to grind. And if you don't, and you kind of stub your toe here or there, and you kind of get down on your confidence, and you don't have that belief in yourself, you're never going to make it. He had tremendous belief in himself.
He went there Corner Word, not JUCO.
That's right.
San Antonio.
And that's kind of, before a couple of years ago, that place was off the map. Right. But now, he could be the number one quarterback taken in the NFL. If you would have told him that 6 years ago, he would have been like, yes, I'm going to be that guy. If you would have told anybody else in the world, they would have never heard of him.
Yeah, it's true. But you're right, though. You hit it on the nose. Kids have to grind. Even the parents have to grind. Like, it's a team effort. It's not going to happen just by not doing nothing. Them days are over with, bro.
And you get caught up in the noise, and you see this all the time. We see it all the time. There's so much noise. He can't do this. Oh, he threw a bad pass. He's not that guy. There's so much noise. You have to stay so laser focused and block out all of the social media and the news articles and things like that, and just stay super focused in what you really want to do. Map it out, and you can get there. But man, you're in this business. It takes you have to be committed to it.
Yeah, you have to be
have to be
committed.
committed to it.
And he's a good example for a kid who went to a small high school. He didn't, because parents ask me all the time, is my kid at the right school? I'm like, bottom line, if that kid got to be laser focused, because the path not going to be the same. No. It's not going to be, I go here, go to the big D1, then I go to the NFL or whatever sport, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you might have to do the zigzag to get the way you want to, but you got to grind, though. It don't matter. You got to grind.
You got to grind. And the portal kind of is, some people hate it. I'm not really sure where I land on it, but okay. So
I love it. I love it, y'all. Put a heart around me. I love it.
So you go to, let's call it Sam Houston, and you ball out at Sam Houston, you're going up. So then you're going to Texas A&M. But say you're at Texas A&M and you don't play that well, you're coming down. So it's musical chairs. You got to fit in, you got to kind of get your spot locked down. But imagine being a coach. It's free agent every single year.
Every year. But now that's why college coaches have put their staff together different. Now they have guys that's all they do is looking at the transfer portal or looking at another team's roster.
Yeah.
Trying to see who probably going to come in the portal, and we already on them as soon as they get in there. So times have changed. And a lot of coaches have adapted, to that. And some of them that didn't adapt, they retired. You got Nick Saban, I love him to death, but he plain to say, hey,
right.
This is not
for me.
It's not for me. It's time for me to move on, which he knew, right? He was like, it's time for me to move on. This is not for me. I'm going to get a broadcaster in the booth now.
You got Dabo Swinney at Clemson, does not believe in the portal. The head coach over at Tulsa was on ESPN last night, says, look, I don't do the portal. I develop high school kids.
What is Tulsa record right now?
They're not good.
Okay.
But you have Dion on the other hand says, hey, I'm going to take 25 kids out of the portal just because I've got college tape on them. They've already been to college. Their bodies are changing. They already understand the college life. And I'm going to take kind of more of a polished product to get on the field and win.
Because I was watching the Dion video last night, and first thing he said was they was asking him about the portal and what kids he recruit from high school.
Yeah.
And he said, I used to say, hey, I'm going to bring in 20 kids a year, but then in the springtime, 10 of them transferred. Right. So now I'm just going to bring in 10. And those 10 gonna play and they not gonna leave me. So I was like, why should I bring? And the coach was like, the reporter like, well, dang, you only bring? He's like, yeah, because where I bring 20 in, all of them not gonna play because we bringing these dogs from these big schools, and 10 gonna leave me. So I'm gonna bring 10 and they gonna all play and they gonna stay here. Which when I love prime time, it's Colorado he changing the world. Catch is he gonna stay there because the big boys is coming out with him with the bag this offseason.
Well, it's interesting because you see his son is getting ready to graduate, not graduate, but he's going to the NFL for sure this year.
Yeah.
So what really holds him to Colorado? I don't think anything. But then can you go to Florida State? Mike Norvell just had a tremendous season last year. They didn't make the Final Four. They were super close. They're trash this year, unfortunately.
Trash, and that's a good example of the portal doesn't work all the time because he brought in all these portal guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine the checks and bags of money they was giving away, and it doesn't work at all. Have they won one game?
They've won a couple of, really weak games.
Yeah, so that's actually a good opportunity, good example. The portal doesn't work for every school.
But can you get rid of him and bring in Dion after going, 11-0 in the regular season and losing your bowl game last year, and it's fallen apart after that. Yeah. Woo, that's a quick hook.
Yeah, that's a quick one. And Dion and like all these coaches say, we're not going nowhere. I'm here to stay. I love it, blah, blah, blah. Right then, next thing you know, they gone, right? Because
his name will be on every single
sure.
job opening that there is. I thought Florida was going to open. That would have been a good spot, but they said, hey, they're going to keep the coach there in place because of DJ Lagway staying, and he's starting to gain a lot of momentum right down the street in Willis. So
yeah,
he'll get a.
Somebody gonna come after him.
Does he go to the Dallas Cowboys?
No, he quote unquote says all the time he doesn't want to coach and motivate grown men.
It's a good point.
That's what he says, but like I tell somebody, when they fly in with that big old bag full of money and that UPS truck pull up, it's kind of hard to say no. But who knows?
I agree. But it's so short term because, you look at all of, that's a 4-year deal. And then you can go somewhere else. Because if you're not winning, man, you are out super quick. Yeah. And, just talking with Michael Brockers, who played here at Chavez and then went to LSU.
HISD product. See, HISD dudes still produce guys,
Yes,
right? Walker's
yes.
played, what, 10, 11 years in the NFL, something like that?
And he said, when you get to the pros, the coach is not the coach. Like, he's your coworker. And that's basically, he stressed that so much that these guys are in partnership. They're not like, hey, man, do 25 up downs and run a lap.
Yeah.
That is gone.
Yeah.
So these coaches and NFL players are now coworkers, and what's the fit? And Dion is probably like, man, he probably loves where he is in college because he is running his whole show.
Yeah.
And going to the NFL, you lose a lot of power to it.
To tell you the truth, I've been following U of H and Willie Fritz, who's won everywhere he went to, from Blinn to, I think they coached at like Central Missouri State or somewhere.
Goes to
Tulane, and so on. I'm looking at him. You know, he's starting to get some kids commit from Houston area there. But it's the same thing. He got to go in that portal if he want to win. I mean, it's gonna be hard to come in with 25 high school recruits.
And I think he did that.
And he's in the Big 12.
He did that a little bit at Tulane. But man, when they beat Kansas State, they were off the grid. Like, nobody was talking about U of H. They beat Kansas State. Terrible game in the rain.
It was raining.
Oh, it's terrible. And they win that game. That's a program changer there in that moment. And now they're like, hey, let's get these kids and get some momentum. And there's a lot of kids that really want to stay
I think personally,
home.
when he changed the quarterback, I forgot the kid's name, but when he changed the quarterback, when he switched the quarterbacks, that made a big difference, I think, in his team demeanor and winning. And then the kid he switched to could run. I think of his name a little bit. But we'll see. You know, and Rice got looking for a new head coach also. We'll see who they go after. I'm not sure the route Rice want to go.
Rice is looking at the offensive coordinator at Vanderbilt. He used to be a head coach. His name's Tim Beck. And he's the OC at Vandy. Vandy's had an insane season, right? Historic. So that is a guy. And then you also have the tight ends coach at Oregon played at Rice. And he has also thrown his hat in to interview. And then you've got John Kay, the legendary North Shore coach, who is the linebackers coach. He likely will not get that job.
Honestly, I like John Kay for that job because, one, I think he's hungry. He has the Houston ties. He knows every kid, parent. He probably has 20 D1 kids right now ready to transfer. But you know, Rice might go with an experienced guy. Who knows?
So say they get one of these other two guys. The first guy they're gonna keep on staff is
John
Kay.
You got to keep him.
He ain't going anywhere.
But enough of college football, folks. We're known for some high school sports right here. Man, what's your opinion, man? Now, high school sports have changed. I was telling parents the other day, man, I've been doing this 26 years, training kids, helping them get scholarships. I mean, you've been around the whole, and it's changed. You know, the landscape is different. Kids are different. Parents are different. You know, we live in a social media world, which I think everyone has to adapt to. If not, you're going to get left behind. You know, transfer portal role. What's your biggest take, you know, on every board now with sports, not just football?
Well, I tell you what, girls' sports is where it's at. I know this sounds crazy, but
no, I'm with you.
If you look at the city of Houston and you look at what college has done, expanding scholarships across the board. So like baseball now has 40 scholarships. Softball has more scholarships. Volleyball has more scholarships.
They took away from golf.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 9. I think it's like 5 now.
Well, if you're playing golf, you're not just competing against Americans.
Yeah,
you're competing against the world.
Yeah.
It's a very international game.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Now, if you look at sports and you look at social media, who drives the market? Who drives NIL? It's women.
Yeah.
You've got Olivia Dunn at LSU, who's a gymnastics second teamer on the gymnastics team. She makes $10 million a year in NIL.
Hey, I need a trainer. Hey, you need a trainer?
That's right.
Come on down here. Work out with me right quick.
You got Angel Reese. You got Caitlin. I mean, these are household names.
Right.
Nobody was talking about the WNBA.
No
one.
Nobody.
So now girls are seeing these are these are household names as girls where it never was like that. And you've trained girls your entire life as, you know, Olympians and college athletes. So you see their influence. Their influence is great in the sport they play, but the influence on TikTok, Instagram, that's where they're getting paid.
Facts, man. And I tell people all the time, girls,
they drive the market.
And they are probably the hardest working kids I train all the time. I get them there, they like a machine. Guys, sometimes
Right.
I don't feel like it's the day. They got an excuse, but they still want to go pro. Then I'll be like, but man, I get them girls in the gym, they machines. So they different. And like you said, they driving the market big time, and it's opened up a lot of lanes from them.
If they think about themselves as a business from the 9th or 10th grade, and they start building their platforms. Now, girls get weird, like, I don't want to post, I'm over posting. Don't think about it. Just build your platform, because it's going to pay off in the end. You're going to hit and miss, and people are going to rag on you. Who cares? Who cares? You're not going to know these people in 2 or 3 years.
My advice is, don't worry what someone else think about you. You got to stay on that lane of what you're trying to get. And that's what everybody worried about. If I post this, what? Dude, put your brand out there, because when opportunity come to get the bag, that company, whoever, they want to make sure, oh man, they's marketable. They get us some money. They're marketable.
Even if you don't play sports, so say you're a girl that plays volleyball and then you have a little mediocre volleyball career, but you built. Brooke Frazier's a great example.
Yeah, I love Brooke Frazier.
She played at Concordia Lutheran. She goes to SMU. She's the second string libero. They're having a great season. Her social media is like this. Boom.
Yep.
So now when she's thinking, okay, now when I leave here, I've already kind of got my own little brand.
And I think she majored in marketing too.
You can parlay that into your career.
Correct, that's fast.
So that's really cool. On the guy's side, here's the thing with the guy's side. Let's take basketball and we'll take football. We could talk about baseball too, but it's so competitive now to get that D1 scholarship that everybody used to be in love with and would tout and been offered by. That number has turned, there used to be 100 high major D1s coming out of Houston. There's probably 30 now.
30?
Just because they're not recruiting the high school athletes.
Correct.
So you have to be that guy in super elite to get those 50 offers, right?
But on the flip side of that, Matt, that's why a lot of kids and parents have to understand where your kid is at. Your kid is not a Texas A&M kid. This throw this out the window. Like those schools can find you if they want you. They have the resource. They have LSU can find you. You got Matt Malatesta, LSU alum. If you can play LSU, he's gonna tell the coaches, "Hey, I got a kid." So you got to know where your kid places at right now. Okay, if my kid not there, I know my kid. Know what? My kid is a Sam Houston kid. My kid is a Texas Southern kid. My kid can play here, right? But they might have good genetics, right? So let's put them there. Let's let them go to the smaller school. Now, if they really a D1 kid, they're going to go there and ball out, get in the portal, and get there, right? See it all the time. It happens all the time.
All the time. And parents need to understand this is the biggest marketing project of a kid's life. And you can help them. A parent can help them. A coach can help them. But you have to think like this. Okay, you have to be realistic in your expectations.
Right.
You're going to pick 5 schools, and let's say football, and say you're a mid-major. You're going to find 5 schools that you would have interest in going to. And you're going to research who the recruiting coordinator is, who the position coach is, and who recruits your area. And you're going to make an Excel spreadsheet, right? And then you're going to direct message that person on Twitter and say, hey, coach, I got some sincere interest in your school. Here's my huddle tape. Boom. 2 weeks later, you don't hear anything. 2 weeks later, hit them again. 2 weeks later, hit them again. And then 2 weeks later, then you make your circle bigger. Then you add another 5 teams. Build that Excel spreadsheet. It's a freaking business, dude.
Business. I got a young lady I trained, Charlotte. And she runs track, and I'm talking to Charlotte. I'm like, Charlotte, what school do you like? And she throws out Boise State for track. I'm like, oh, okay,
right.
Okay, what's the plan here? She's already on the social media because she posts. I'm like, I told her mom, hey, we're gonna use this for advertising. I'm gonna post a bunch of videos of you. You repost and resharing, right? We're gonna make some videos. You working out, and she does it. She's like, her parents like a machine. So I'm like, next thing now, Charlotte, reach out to the coach, like you said. She reaches out, they respond back.
Yep.
Want her time to track because all the times have to line up to be able to compete there. Now I'm like, Charlotte, hey, when you and your parents get an opportunity, you need to go down to Boise State in the off season for track. Don't go during the season because they're too busy. Charlotte goes down there. I think they went about a week or 2 ago. I'm like, Charlotte, when you get there, you got a little muscles. Wear some tight clothes.
That's right.
Because you got some muscles.
You know the tricks.
Don't go up there with a big old baggy jacket on. And no. Go up there with show your muscles. Make sure you got your little Lululemon tight shirt on.
Yep.
And go in there and meet them. She went up there, did everything. Now they know you. Now you're on the radar. Now once you apply to the school, they know they can get you in, and they know you very interested in the school because you done came down there, seen the school, met the coach. You done did a lot of other things. Because Boise State, on the track side of it, I probably don't recruit a lot in Texas because not many people want to go there and run track, right?
100%.
Football, it's a lot of kids in Texas that have went there over the years. Shane Rhodes, Martin Nance. Can't remember the kid at Klein High School linebacker. What was his name? Ben. I can't even think of it. But there was a lot of kids went there. That was the old coach that was at Boise State. I mean, a lot of kids went there. But goes back to what you just said, Matt. If you're proactive and you have a plan, it's you in the point right there. You can. I hate when I see kids, especially on Twitter, they tagging coaches or sending coaches medicine, and I'm like, dude, they do not have a 6'1" D lineman at that school.
Right.
You're 6'1". 260. You cannot play at the school. Every kid on this roster is 6'6". So that's why you have to, on the football side of every sport, you got to look at the roster and see if anyone is on that roster like you. If it's not, it's just not going to work.
And you can get somewhere, and then you grow and then you can portal up.
Correct.
So don't rule out anything. Don't rule out any opportunity because you just never know. Going back to Cam Ward, you never know the process, and this guy's going to be in the NFL here in a couple months. But it's a massive marketing project. But now you have all the tools. It used to come a direct line to the coach, and now it's nothing like that. So it's your job to go market. And here's the other thing: when you bring up Boise is going to recruit their hotspots. But if you're able to reduce the amount of time for them to find you, if you're reaching out to them directly, they don't have to spend months finding you. You've already straight lined to them. And if Boise, UC Santa Barbara, Washington, wherever it might be, they are going to struggle to find you just because of just the proximity. Go right to them.
Yeah. And then also that shows the coaches that, hey, this kid is parents. They want to get here, right? And that's because I'm around so many kids every day. I'm like, bro, some of them are the big school kids. Yeah, they gonna find you. But come on now, let's be realistic. You want to play college ball? It's a lot of schools out there. That's for every sport. Tell parents, kids. Brooke Frazier, for example, went to A&M first.
Yep.
Things didn't work out. Transfers to SMU. Now she's living a life right now, living a dream. Time. A lot of kids like that. But she's a hard worker. I tell people like that. That little girl used to work out with me 5 a.m.s, 6 a.m.s. Like not many people built like her. And it wasn't mom or dad, calling me. It was her. Like D-Jump. What time we working out? So you have kids. You have to be like that. I look at my daughter. She ready. She play every sport, but she already got a bag packed down there for golf today. So kids, and she only 9 years old. So you gotta want it. Parents cannot want it on that. Man, on the flip side of it, you've been doing the VYPE. How long has VYPE been going on?
This is our 18th year.
18
Almost
years.
2 decades.
Holy crap! Get this man a congrats, freaking award or something. Drop some balloons out on top. 18 years strong.
Yeah.
How have y'all adapted, Matt, from and just quick, I know y'all did it, but y'all went from being a magazine to now digital, quick, and social media quick. You pivoted fast.
If you want to stay alive, especially in the media business, you have to be...
Now the podcast, y'all, you did a 360 pivot quick.
Remember, you used to have a writer. It would be a beat writer for a sport. Now, if you're not a multimedia person that has a clue about social media, how to work a camera, take a picture on your phone and push it out on Twitter, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, be able to communicate with people behind a camera what you're looking for, you're not going to make it. So you have to be able to be a multimedia person, and that's we're a small company. We're super agile, and we can kind of move like that. And look, we're trying to get in the merch business. The merchandise business is hard, and we might fail at that. We might go gangbusters, but we're not afraid to take a couple chances on some things that might be, just kind of taking a long shot on stuff because we're small and we're able to
I tell people, if you don't try, you never know until you try. It might work, it might not. I didn't try so much stuff. Golly.
And you learn from it.
I done burned so much money, even on the merch side. I got merch down there still.
I know.
I'm like, what am I gonna do with this 200 shirts I got from this camp I bought, and I bought extra. For some reason, it's just sitting here, and I spent $5 a shirt. That's like $1,000 just sitting in a box right there.
Let me ask you this question, because I have a debate on this, and you're right in the heart of this. So, okay, the state of Texas has the most elite high school athletes. Mm-hmm. They have personal trainers. Mm-hmm. They're directed how to eat, what to eat by personal trainers. They're well coached, great facilities, great parents. This is a culture of sports in Texas. When you go to college, do you have too polished of a product that doesn't have a lot of upside? Or do you find a kid from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, who doesn't have all of that and gets there and is probably going to gain 30 to 45 pounds of muscle, be it football or velocity, throwing the ball, and has way more upside? I'm trying to figure out, it's like the portal. Do you want a polished kid right now that you can win right now, or do you want a super freak that's going to be an NFL player or Major League Baseball kid, but you're going to have to develop them? I don't know that colleges have the time to develop anymore.
And that's my point was, it used to be, I used to get a kid, right, I could say, know what, this kid is 6'4", play defense in, and they weigh 190 pounds.
Right, yeah.
But once he get to college, he going to gain 30 pounds, 40 pounds of muscle. You just see the frame, right? But so you just like, okay, know what, we got time. We don't have to rush the process. But now, man, it goes back with that portal. And I just was telling kids last night I was training, them days are gone, man, of trying to get ready not being ready once you get there. Because it's just gonna be hard for you. Because like you said, you're gonna go there, right? It's gonna already be kids from the portal there that's, this kid rolling in at 17, but this kid 21 and been in 2 colleges, he coming in there. So my opinion, they gotta be ready once they get to college. In days of, because even colleges, right? Are they even, these guys are already ready when they get in there. So I think, just my opinion, I think schools are looking at more ready now kids and on a high school level.
And that benefits the state of Texas kids. Correct. Because they are ready.
Yeah, them
they
days
are ready.
Man, them days, I just was telling Chris that I had, I think, 4 kids last night I'm training, right? 2 of them are D1 kids. One sister runs track at Rice, and I'm drilling her little sister. I'm like, hey, you got to be ready. Like, ask your sister. She's in college now. Them days of you not being ready once you get there, over with. Because you might not never get opportunity with the portal now. They just, don't get me wrong. You'll get some of them that's not ready to get there, and they're going to get to eat, and they're going to get to work.
And they're super freaks.
They're super freaks. Yeah. But them are one in a few. But I think you have to be ready now. And I think that's why I tell a lot of trainers now, I try to give advice to a lot of young guys as I'm getting older now. Like, you have to have these kids ready. They have to be doing the right things and around the right people. You cannot, and you can't be negative. You can't talk negative on the high school coaches. Right. Because everybody has to work together. Like I tell high school coach, I'm just another outlet to help the kid, right? So if they did this at school today, I'm not going to do the same thing when they come to me, right? If they still, hey, let me know what we need to work on. Or I ask the kids all the time, what y'all did today at school? And they tell me, okay, cool, we're not doing that. So what's the plan? Or a lot of these schools have social media accounts now, and they'll do that. And I tag the school. So, hey, coach, I'm tagging you. Hey, I'm an open book. I've been doing this a zillion years now. Shit, I've been doing it so long. I was telling my buddy the other day, kids that I used to train are coaches now, right? Like, even on the big school level, pro level, I'm like, I used to train these guys, right? Like, I'm like, like the offensive assistant, O-line coach for the Cowboys, he's training him. Like,
it's crazy.
Like crazy. So I think you got to be ready, though, to answer the question, man.
I do, too. And, I think that in the past, you could develop. And now it's a little bit different. And I do think that. But
let me ask you this, man. I look back for a lot of kids that don't have the resources to get trainers. Don't have that. They don't have the resources, but they it sucks for them, man. So I don't, and I'm only one person, but I'm like, golly, it sucks. So, and I've kind of told myself, moving forward, I'm going to start reaching out to some of these small schools and give these people advice in the weight room, what they should. Because now, for example, HISD, all these schools have brand new weight rooms. They just don't have the right stuff in them, or the people don't know what to do.
And I do think that the coaching now is not like it used to be. They were very territorial. Yeah. They're still a little bit like that. But they're opening their eyes also, because they're kind of like, hey, we could use some help, A. because there's such a shortage of coaches, and now they know that kids are doing 7-on-7. They're doing extra training. They're playing club volleyball. Club volleyball and high school volleyball those coaches are very connected, and club volleyball is where the rubber hits the road. High school volleyball for fun. The kids love to play because it's fun. It's not super competitive. There's not as much pressure on them, and they got a crowd with them. But man, that club volleyball, when they play in the summer, that's where they're making their money.
Club volleyball is. Woo! I had my daughter in volleyball for a little bit. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting tired, but probably go back and visit it pretty soon. But you hit it on the nose, Matt. Parents and kids, you have to be ready, man. You got to start getting ready. Early on. Them days are over with. Getting there and coach, you got time to develop me. I think Dion said it. I don't got time to get you in. No, I'm over with, man. So flip side of it, Matt. With that, you traveling. How's your LSU team doing this year? I know. Hey, can somebody put some Brian Kelly emojis around his head? Man. My guy Cortez Hankett, I think he's the OC. Yeah. Tess, we need you to start calling some. I don't know. Some better players. I can't really say I even watch LSU that much.
I mean, they lost to Alabama, blown out by Bama.
Oh man!
And they got beat on the road to A&M.
They got blown out by Bama.
And that was so bad with the Bama game because they had it all in front of them, right? They had it in front of them because you had College game day. It was a night game. It did rain. Not that that's going to be an excuse, but if they win that game, they only have one loss, and Georgia's got two losses. Bama's got 3 losses. They're out, and they just
lost 2 now. Matt is an LSU alumni. If y'all didn't know that by now.
But what's kind of cool is you see Caden Durham. He's their RB1 freshman, like we're talking about, from Duncanville, came in ready, and now he's taking Baton Rouge by storm. He's like, this is the next Leonard Fournette. He's going to be amazing. From Texas, there's a lot of Texas connections and a lot of kids from the Texas area. Harold Perkins, he got hurt. He was from Cy Park.
I was going to ask you about that. He hurt?
He ACL'd, so he's down. He should probably come back for another year.
Last year.
But he won't. They're not great. But they're, A&M in that Texas A&M game, I don't really have a dog in the fight. We might be able to hear that game from here. And we live, 50 miles away?
Thanksgiving Day?
It's Thanksgiving Day. It's going to be wild. What a historic game that's going to be going back to that old tradition. And that's going to be an amazing game that means so much to the college football landscape.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of coaching shuffling shoot pretty soon.
Yeah, I do love the carousel to see who fits where.
It's fun. It keeps it interesting to
me. But, these younger coaches, people are like, they're taking a flyer on them, like the guy at Oregon. He was I think it was the DC at Georgia, and then boom, he's at Oregon. They're the number 1 team in the country. For those coaches, it's about process. And I don't even know what the hell that means. It's like, this is our process. So it's Nick Saban's at the middle, and then Kirby Smart, and the guy at Oregon, and the guy at Indiana comes off. Indiana, we never even talked about Indiana football. They're undefeated right now and can get into the playoffs.
I love what that coach said. He was doing an interview with the Indiana football coach, and he was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, coach, what would you tell some people that never heard of you?
Yeah.
Google me. I win everywhere I go.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Dude, that
shit was funny.
So awesome.
Google me.
And they haven't lost yet. And that's a process guy. And man, you get the right coach, and it can change the economics of an entire state. Think about that. Louisiana is the poorest state in the country. Nick Saban got there and completely flipped the entire state culture. He goes to Alabama. There was 25,000 students go there, all from Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
They're 65% out of state.
I tell people,
students.
man, when you got a winning football team, that changes the whole culture. That's from high school on up. You got to college, it brings so much stuff in there. All right, Matt. So we're gonna kind of flip the script right here, Matt. So what advice could you give, parents and kids right now that want to play college sports, right? They look in the VYPE Magazine, they go online, hear Matt Malatesta and his team talking about sport. What quick advice could you give them?
Here's my advice. Get a counselor, because it's an emotional ride dude.
true,
It's an
that's true,
emotional
that's
ride. But really,
counts.
you got to have thick skin and you got to be balanced and not get too high and get too low, because the process will take you to the heights, and you're getting so excited because you're getting your first letters, right? You're getting your first letters, and then you're getting mail, and then there's no offers that come. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is devastating. What are we going to do? So it is a roller coaster ride in all sports. So just stay supportive. And what you said earlier is right. Don't harp on the negative. Oh, the coach is not playing you right. Da 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 da. Get off of that bandwagon, dude. That is no good. It's toxic for the whole situation. But you got to get on this marketing project. It's like you got to get a doctorate in recruiting marketing, and it's so easy to do, and all the resources are there for you and your kid. Just get started on it as early as you can. And you're right, get out the house. Go to McNeese, go to ULL, go to Rice, go to Prairie View. You roll up at Prairie View, you're like, damn, these facilities are nice.
Shit, them facilities nice there.
So, but you got to get out and get out of your comfort zone, and you have to go market yourself.
And you have to use this thing we call an iPhone. This is a $1,000 phone. You have to. I tell people, go to the game and make sure you're recording it this way. The videos don't go sideways. That's old school. Right here, parents, hit record on it. This big old $1,000 iPhone got 3 camera lenses on there. Record it, post it on your kid thing. It don't have to be pretty. Start building a database. Now when college coaches go back and look you up in social, right? They like, oh shit, this kid works out. This kid plays. This kid loves ball, right? If I bring he or she here, they're not gonna quit on me. They love it. So start using that, man. It's social media. I tell people it's free. You don't have to even pay for this.
Totally free.
You can make an account in 2 seconds, and it's free. Utilize it.
And you said something earlier also. If you have to drag your kid to practice,
Oh yeah.
you should just get in your mind, he or she, they don't really want it that bad. You want it, but they don't want it. And if they don't want it, it's never gonna happen.
Never gonna work. You hit it. Hey, he gonna hit it dead on the nail. That is facts right there. That's the same thing I use for training. If I gotta text you, hey, when you coming to work out, I don't even do that no more. You just don't even train. Then you don't want it, because you should be reaching out to me. Hey, D-Jump, when we working out this week?
Yeah.
This is my schedule. Nah, no. But if I I don't even do that no more. If I gotta text you and all that, and your mom and dad gotta text me and all that.
And that's okay, because like kids are involved in so much other stuff. It's okay if you're not committed.
Correct.
And you're trying to impress your parents, or you're trying to, make them proud, which you're going to be doing anyways, but you're doing it for your parents as a kid. Just say, hey, I want to play this for fun. I want to roll out my high school. I want to have a great time playing in high school, but I'm going to go do something else.
Correct.
So there's a line of communications, and you're a parent and I'm a parent, and it's hard because you're always pushing and pulling. I want it more, you want it more, you don't want it, we want it, it's hard.
But you're right though, it's okay if you
It's okay.
Because everybody can't play D1 college ball. It's okay if you just want to play your sport, enjoy it, you want to go work out, that's fine. Extra, but have that already in your brain. You already have a plan. Okay, this is what I want to do. And if I want to play college ball, that's what I want to go at. But yeah, if you don't, it's okay to just be a regular person.
And you could be a regular student, because the funny part is everybody talks NIL. It's super sexy to be a college athlete. No, it ain't. It's so much hard work. Your schedule is so, your schedule is not your own. They got you, and that's part of the trade-off, right? And not everybody's getting $1 billion doing NIL.
It's less than 1% of athletes are actually getting NIL money
100%.
For everyone, right? It's not everybody on it and everybody. It's less than 1% getting NIL money.
So when you show up to Midwestern State as a volleyball player and you played in front of more people at the Woodlands High School, and you roll up to, and there's like a couple parents and other kids there, and you're like, ooh, man, you got to be prepared for that.
And that goes back to, I tell parents, and I tell them all the time, you have to make sure when you send your kid there, especially if they playing sports and they come from big high schools who got these amazing facilities, you got to make sure that you can see your kid at this small school.
Right.
It's hard, like you say, you coming from the Woodlands, or these
Katy High School playing in front of 10,000 people.
10,000 people. You go to the school and it's a janitor and maybe 30 people in the stands watching you play. And they,
Yeah.
You got to make sure you can do that. So before you pick these small schools, make sure that you can do that because that is huge. Now, some people can do that, right? But you're right. You have to understand that.
We have talked for maybe 45 minutes, though we have not talked about one thing.
What is that?
You're getting a free education.
Right.
No one cares about that anymore. Are you kidding me? Like, everybody wants to go to college. It costs money to go to college. You're getting a free or partially free education.
And experience.
And the experience, a life experience, use that.
Because I always tell people, sports can be a big network for you.
Totally.
I didn't go to NFL or nothing, but I use sports. Man, I've made so many connections through sports. It can create a lifestyle. It can create how you make a living because you meet so many people on your sports journey.
Totally.
And now with social media, you can stay in contact. When it used to be with shit, you didn't see the person, so you never saw them again. But now you friends on Facebook, Instagram. So you can actually, and if you want to go into the sports world, for a career-wise, you have a huge marketing network of that.
The beauty also is that when you can put that you're a college athlete on a resume, people love to hire college athletes. Why? Because you're committed to something and you are up at 5 a.m. and you are doing the extra work where other college kids are partying and da-da-da-da-da. They love to hire college athletes. You don't have to be a D1 athlete. You could be a D3 athlete. Doesn't matter. But those employers love to hire them because they have focus and they have structure.
And also make sure if you're going to college to play sports, you're ready for 5 a.m. workouts every day. I think I was in school. Shit, I didn't even know if our coaches slept because I'm like, I work out every day, 5 a.m. Right after that, meeting at 6. Run and get something to eat for 7:15. Got class at 8:30. Go to class from 8:30 all the way to about 12. Eat lunch. You right back at practice at 2 getting tape treatment. Right back. Boom. You get back to your dorm, your apartment, it's 9 o'clock. And you were right back at it again the next day. And we might have had we didn't even take our spring break. And you might get, I'm just being real, you might get 20 days off throughout the year what you're dealing with your sports. Summertime, you go home for a week, right back at school working out, summer classes, summer workouts. Man, so you have to be different.
That's football. Yeah. We're talking about diving. And you've trained some divers, right?
Man, they are all day long, 24/7.
I'm talking about our good buddies that was a diver at Auburn.
Sheesh.
No one cares about diving at Auburn. But she was on scholarship and she had 4 days off for the entire year. So you're thinking to myself, oh my gosh, if I'm doing diving and I got 4 days off, what's it like for the other revenue sports? Man, they got you.
Because when I had Cassidy, I had all those girls, Michelle and all them.
Maddie,
Kelly Markle. Shit, yeah, you talking.
They working.
They going to work out at 6 a.m. before school, go to school, go back to diving practice, go do Pilates, then come back with me, then right back again, all over 365. I got a little girl now, Hannah, who's probably the next Olympian, and she got a machine. I'll be like, Hannah, you taking off tomorrow? No, I got diving. I got practice. What you doing for the break? I'm going to Scotland, go compete. I'm like, shit.
We're talking about diving.
Yeah, you got to be different there, man.
Yeah.
Man, as we end it down, because I'm starving like Marvin.
Yes.
I'm hungry. I got to go get some food and run around today. I always like to kind of end the podcast with someone asking me a quick question or something. Anything you want to ask me before we hop off there?
Yeah. Biggest mentor. Who's been your biggest mentor in your playing career and then as you transitioned into your business career? See, you weren't even prepping me on that. And I just spit you a massive question right there.
Boom, boom. I say my playing career, first off, into going into work, I would say Ray Seals.
Yeah. Legendary high school coach, if you don't know him.
Yeah, I would say him. And it wasn't so much what he said, it was just what he did for me and showed me. He was like, because I went back there and coached, after I got through playing, I wanted to go coach. And he was like, okay, cool. You can get here, give me a job, get to school, blah, blah, blah. And never forget that first year. And it's high school. We 5 a.m. at the school watching film. But it goes back to I was kind of prepared for it. Sundays, I'm like, Coach, we got to be here on Sunday? Oh, yeah, we got to get film in. 7 a.m. on
Yep.
Sundays, 7 to 5 actually on Sundays. You know, and then too, just a little advice, you know, telling me, hey, you got a knack for helping kids. You know, you're good at what you're doing. Make sure you study your craft, take care of the kids. You know, a lot of kids don't have both parents at home. So I always remember that. And he just gave me so much advice, man, over the years. And he's like you say, he's a legend, you know. And as I travel the world, I bring up his name and people know him. They're like, oh shit, let's go Seal. And then that's what I probably say as I got older, you know, hopping into start my own business. Because when I started, I mean, shit, I was broke. I think I had $10 on my name when I first started my business. I ain't had shit. And, you know, just taking care of kids, training. And a lot of my clients just give me advice over the years, you know. I always use Brian Honeycutt, for example. I never forget Honeycutt. And this is what a lot of young trainers out there who don't know. I never forget Honeycutt was paying me, and he was writing me checks. And I ain't had no bank account. I had no LLC, nothing. So I'm going to his bank. I'm rolling up his bank with his check cash. And these people calling him like, hey, it's some guy in here, you know, cashing a check. And so he called me one time, and he was like, hey, man, you don't got your company set up? You don't got an LLC and all that? I'm like, nah. He like, well, what you going to do when you get married, want to buy a house? You're not going to have no pay. I'm like, holy shit, you're right. So I ended up, you know, forming a company, you know, and everything, and getting an accountant, start paying Uncle Sam taxes. Yeah, train to pay your taxes. And, man, and now I'm, you know, I you know, fast forward 20 years later, you know,
you're still doing it.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. But, you know, just over the years, just a lot of, dealing with a lot of clients, man, and dealing with a lot of people who give me great advice.
That's another thing. You got to be coachable. Even at my age, I'm still learning, and I might be learning from kids who know what's going on in this world that we're trying to break through to. And you always have to be learning regardless of your age and what you're doing, or sports or not sports, whatever it might be. Ray Seals, going back to him also, and what I really loved about him, he did it through positive reinforcement. He wasn't a big yeller, screamer, in your face. He was a positive enforcement guy, and you could tell how close he was with his wife, and their family it was so important to him that it just kind of bleeds out to everything he did.
Yeah. Ray was a go, man. But hey, appreciate everybody, man. I got to run. This is D Junk signing off for the Sports Resort. This was a great conversation, great topic. Parents, kids, everybody, grab this information, soak it in, write it down, make your noteboard, make some goals out there, and go get it. I tell people you never know if you don't know if you don't try. All you can do is you fail. Somebody tell you no, but you got to keep going. Appreciate you having in, Mike Matt. VYPE Houston, follow him, Instagram, social media, TikTok, YouTube. All that information. The guy's 70 years old but still look like he's 40. Peace out.